Hello, I'm Father Joe Roesch of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. Thank you for joining us as we continue with our year-long journey reading the diary of St. Maria Faustina Kowalska from beginning to end. Today we take up from where we left off, beginning with diary entry number 543. The duration of the postulancy. The postulancy will last 1 year. During this time, the candidate should examine whether she is attracted to this type of life and whether it is suitable to her. The directress should also diligently consider whether or not the person in question is suitable for this type of life. After a year, if the postulant shows evidence of a stable will and an earnest desire to serve God, she should be admitted to the novitiate. The novitiate is to last 1 year without any interruption. At this time, the novices should be taught about the virtues related to the vows and about the importance of the vows. The directress should do her utmost to provide a solid formation. Let her train the novices in the practice of humility, because only a humble heart keeps the vows easily and experiences the great joys that God pours out upon the faithful soul. The novices should not be burdened with duties that entail responsibilities, so that they may be free to devote themselves to their own perfection. They are obliged to observe the rules and statutes strictly, as are the postulants. After a year of novitiate, if the novice proves faithful, she may be admitted to make her profession for 1 year. This is to be repeated for 3 years. She may then be given duties of responsibility. However, she will still belong to the novitiate, and once a week she must attend conferences together with the novices, and she will spend the last 6 months entirely in the novitiate in order to prepare well for her solemn profession. Meals. We will have no meat. Our meals shall be such that not even the poor will have any reason to envy us. Still, feast days may differ slightly from regular days. The sisters will eat 3 times a day. Fasts, especially the 2 great ones, will be observed strictly according to the original spirit. The food should be the same for all the nuns, without exception, so that communal life may be kept pure. This refers not only to food, but to clothing and the furnishing of cells as well. However, if a sister should fall ill, she should receive every consideration. Prayers. 1 hour of meditation, Holy Mass, and Holy Communion. Prayers. 2 examinations of conscience, office, rosary, spiritual reading, 1 hour of prayer during the night. As to the orarium, it is better to draw it up after we have begun to live this type of life. Suddenly I heard these words in my soul. My daughter, I assure you of a permanent income on which you will live. Your duty will be to trust completely in my goodness, and my duty will be to give you all you need. I am making myself dependent upon your trust. If your trust is great, then my generosity will be without limit. Work. As poor persons, the nuns themselves will do all the work in the convent. Each one should be glad when she is given some work which is humbling or which goes against her nature, as that will greatly help her interior formation. The superior will often change the sisters' duties, and in this way help them to detach themselves completely from the little details to which women have a great attachment. Truly, I often find it amusing to see with my own eyes souls who have forsaken really great things only to attach themselves to fiddle-faddle, that is, trifles. Each sister, including even the superior, shall work in the kitchen for a month. Every one should take a turn at every chore which is to be done in the convent. Here, St. Faustina writes about the type of formation the candidates would receive in the new community. Postulancy is a type of a resident candidacy, which lasts 1 year, a type of a probation period. The novitiate is in the new community lasts 1 year, whereas in her current community it lasts 2 years. Different communities set up the formation in different ways. Even the sisters in the new community can, even though the sisters in the new community can profess their vows, their first vows after 1 year in the novitiate, and those vows can be renewed every year for 3 years, she envisions them as still belonging to the novitiate for the entire period of formation, and then they would attend conferences with the novices once a week, and there would be a 6-month period in the novitiate prior to final vows. And she envisions them as making a solemn profession of vows, whereas in her current community it's simple vows. And I think this goes with a different type of community, an apostolic community or a cloistered community as well. Her cloistered community would be very ascetic. There would be no meat at all. Some cloistered communities, like the Poor Clares and the Carmelites, would give up meat for Lent and also for an extended period before Christmas, including Advent. That would be what she refers to as the Great Fasts. But in her congregation, they would eat no meat at all as a sacrifice. And it seems that the meals would be very Spartan and sacrificial. Prayer would be like other cloistered communities, Mass, the Divine Office, which is the Psalms, spiritual reading, but there would be 1 hour of meditation every day and an hour of prayer during the night. Jesus assures her that he will provide for the needs of the new congregation, and she calls for all of the sisters to do manual work, even the superiors. This would be different from her current community. Many of her choices seem to come from what she has learned in her current community. And she is calling for heroic sisters in this new community, modeled after herself, I think.